Hello everyone, welcome to today's do-it-yourself tutorial. Today we are going to create interesting Alchemist jars for this year's Halloween decoration. You can use pretty much any jar that you will find in your home. It can be like empty vitamin bottles or a simple mason jar or a plastic bottle. I'm going to use two kinds of jars. First of all, glass jars and also one plastic bottle so that you can see how that would work on different surfaces. I have used the modeling paste in the finest texture for all metal and glass surfaces. That way the surfaces were primed and it was much easier to paint on them. This is how the paste looks like once it's on and once it's dried. So that was a coffee jar and this is just a regular mason jar. I put it also on the metal lid. For two of the jars I have used two small styrofoam balls as a decoration, and here is the acrylic paint I'm going to use in this tutorial. I have medium brown shade that looks more rusty to me than medium brown, to be honest. Then I have here a black acrylic paint. Both have a regular finish, but this one has a metal finish and it's called graphite, and I'm going to use that one as well. As the last shade I'm going to use the chalky color in the shade Top. I love this one because it has a matte finish, and by the way you can use it also on furniture or different other surfaces. Since all the jars, I think except for one, are going to have some kind of symbols on them, you will need a glue gun with hot glue, and also you are going to need some sponge for painting of the jars, because I find it a little bit faster and easier than with brushes. And I have here also several brushes for the places on the jars that are really difficult to reach. I have here also a kitchen roll and some rubber gloves in order to not to soil my fingers too much, and there is a piece of paperboard that I put on the table where I will be working, and this is the sandpaper we will need as well. So I'm going to start with one of the glass jars, and I have here a piece of the kitchen roll and I'm applying one layer of the modeling paste. Here you have two possibilities: either you spread it equally, you let it dry and then you file it with the sandpaper, or you kind of dab it on like that, and it's going to make a very interesting structure and you can leave it like this. Should you prefer a little bit more even surface, then you would need to file it with the sandpaper, as I said. So this is what I've done on several jars, and I left the very first one with the little bit more structured finish. You won't need necessarily the structuring paste on all the plastic surfaces. All you will need is to roughen it up a little bit with a sandpaper. And once the structuring paste on the glass jars is dry, you can start painting with a regular pencil on it any symbols that you want to create with the hot glue. It should be something alchemistic or magical or whatever scary. If it's supposed to be a Halloween decoration, it should be something that goes well with the season. So now I copied all the lines that I pre-draw with the pencil with the hot glue, and then I waited for the hot glue to cool off and to dry completely. I took one of the styrofoam balls and cut like 1/4 of it back, and then I glued it on one of the lids on the thin high bottle, and then I took the hot glue gun and made kind of a something around it. I have no word for it. I just kind of applied in very irregular way a little bit of the hot glue around it, because what I wanted here is that the ball will look like it was set in a melted metal. But be careful with the plastic bottles because they can melt since the glue is really hot, and this is what happened here, so you need to be aware of it. And once the glue is dry, you can start applying first the base color, which is in my case black, with one of the sponges. I always recommend wearing rubber gloves because otherwise you can get really, really dirty. I find painting with a sponge a little bit faster than with a brush in this case, and also once you start applying the color around the symbols, you will notice that they are really standing out and you have the 3D effect there. Once the black color is dried, you can start layering other colors. It depends on whatever you want to achieve. So I started here with the brown shade. I just dab it on with the sponge, and here you can decide what you personally want. If you want that the black is still noticeable, that's where you stop, or you can add a little bit more of the brown color and add a little bit lighter shade at the end. It is absolutely, definitely only up to you. I wanted that on some places you can still see a little bit of the black, and then I started applying the top chalk color. And I made sure that you can see on some places the rusty brown and on some places the black, so that it really looks like an old Alchemist jar. This is the only jar that remains without any symbols because I wanted you guys to see how it would look like if it were just painted, because I think it's a really lovely decoration for any other times, not just Halloween season. So I thought it's gonna be interesting to see how it looks like if it's just a surface. And if you have the feeling that some of the symbols are not really standing out enough, you can always paint them a little bit with a darker shade, just like I have done here. Now, time to do something with the lids. So I started painting them with a sponge in the black acrylic paint first, and later when the black paint was dry, I took a brush and I started painting it with the graphite metallic shade, and I just had it dry for a while. And here is one of the flat lids. This is the one where I put just a little bit of hot glue. I made layers so that it looks like it's from a melted metal. I painted it black first, and then I started applying also the metallic paint. The biggest jar, that was the coffee jar, had a plastic lid which was in a golden color, and here I only roughened it up with the sandpaper, and I thought it looked actually quite good, so I left it that way. Now let's have a look at each jar. If you liked the tutorial, don't forget to leave a comment or a thumb up. Maybe you are for the first time here, so welcome, and I would be very happy if you subscribed. Don't forget to check out the info below this video. You will find there links to my webpage, Facebook page and Instagram page. And you will also find a link to my playlist with more do-it-yourself videos, so you can check it out if you want to. Maybe you're gonna find a little bit more inspiration there. And thank you so much for watching and have a great time. Bye!